Hey everyone, I'm Bruce, and today, we're exploring the wildest, weirdest, and most mind-blowingly creative corners of the VR universe. On the other side of AAA titles, these are the top 10 best exceptional indie VR games that prove you don't need billion-dollar budgets to melt faces and bend realities. Full-blown sandbox insanity, indie devs are where the real magic happens. Smash that like button, subscribe for more VR goodness, and tell us, what's your favorite indie VR game? Into the Radius VR. You ever wanted to wake up in a nightmare, surrounded by abandoned Soviet factories, haunted woods, and physics-based guns that jam at the worst moment? Congrats, you've just stepped into the Radius. This survival shooter from CM Games is basically what you'd get if Stalker had a baby with Half-Life Alyx and then raised it inside a desolate VR hellscape with no hugs, just radiation. Set inside the post-apocalyptic Pekorsk anomaly zone, you're a lone scavenger sneaking around anomalies that zap you, entities that mimic you, and spooky fragments that want to eat you alive. The gameplay leans hard into realism. Guns don't just shoot. They require cleaning, reloading, and sometimes a firm smack when they jam mid-fight. You'll navigate using an actual physical map, no magical HUD here, while day-night cycles force you to play hide-and-seek with death after sunset. But what really slaps? The atmosphere. It's eerie, quiet, and isolating in all the best ways. Combine that with one-in-a-million immersion and gun physics tighter than a drum, and this might just be VR's most terrifying vacation destination. Beat Saber. Developed by Beat Games, which Facebook later scooped up like a saber-sliced fruit. Beat Saber is deceptively simple. Red and blue sabers, blocks flying toward your face, and a beat you can't resist. But miss a cut, hit a bomb, or get sloppy with your angles? Game over. You are a Jedi DJ in the middle of a Tron nightclub? Welcome to Beat Saber, the indie VR hit that took rhythm gaming, sliced it into perfect blocks, and dropped the bass harder than your last breakup. Officially released in 2019, this game lets you slash through colorful blocks to the beat of everything from EDM to J-pop. With glowing sabers, mind you. Think Guitar Hero, but you're sweating, squatting, and flailing like a futuristic ninja. New mechanics like chains and arcs added even more spicy wrist choreography, making you feel like you're slicing music itself. If your living room hasn't turned into a neon dojo yet, what are you even doing in VR? Retropolis 2. Cue the saxophone, dim the neon lights, and crank the noir to max. Retropolis 2, Never Say Goodbye, landed this February 2024 and brought Robo-Detective Philip Log back into our headsets and hearts. Picking up a year after the events of The Secret of Retropolis, this standalone tale dives headfirst into a post-apocalyptic robo-metropolis where everyone's metal, mysteries are thicker than oil, and your arms, they extend. Like Inspector Gadget, but cooler. You'll stretch your extendo arms across stunning hand-painted environments to solve puzzles, snatch clues, and awkwardly fumble through robo-emotions. Your mission? Find the elusive Jenny Montage, who's somehow always missing and always causing chaos. This time around, the stakes are higher, the logic puzzles are nastier, and the environments actually rotate. Yes, it's not just a visual upgrade, it's a full cinematic glow-up. But what makes Retropolis 2 shine? It's handcrafted artistry. Every backdrop oozes style like a rusted jazz bar, and every character animates like they walked out of a hand-drawn graphic novel. It's not just VR, it's interactive noir theater with robots and sass. Get ready to uncover secrets, crack robo cases, and maybe fall for a femme fatale again.
But to be perfectly honest, and with all due condolences, I expect you to die.
I expect you to die. This game isn't just a threat, it's a warning, a punchline, and your inevitable fate wrapped in Bond-style theatrics and VR puzzle brilliance. Released in 2016 for Oculus Rift, and later sneaking onto PlayStation VR and HTC Vive, this indie gem from Shell Games throws you into the sleek gloves of a telekinetic super spy working for the agency, aka the most polite but consistently endangered workplace in espionage history. The gameplay is escape room meets spy thriller, and it doesn't pull punches. You'll find yourself defusing bombs with sandwich condiments, piloting submarines using rubber ducks, and surviving space explosions with duct tape and pure hope. Each mission is a brain-bending gauntlet of clues, traps, and stylish deaths, all wrapped in deliciously villainous banter and a jazzy theme song that deserves its own Grammy. The story pits you against Dr. Zor and his evil empire Zaraxis, with missions spanning exotic trains, sky-high cargo planes, deep-sea disasters, and orbital chaos. With witty voice acting, physical object interaction, and telekinetic puzzle solving, I Expect You to Die makes dying hilariously fun, and surviving feels like the coolest job you'll never tell anyone about. Hard Bullet. If John Wick and a hydraulic press had a VR baby, it would look a whole lot like Hard Bullet. This indie gem is the VR equivalent of throwing a grenade into a fireworks factory. Explosive, ridiculous, and somehow still strategic. Forget just shooting enemies. Here, you're slamming them into grinders, welding weapons to zombies, and loading a shotgun with a chair because yes, that's totally legal here. Set in a neon-tinted, machine-infested metropolis, you play as a supercharged action hero with full-body physics, slow-motion powers, and a license to rip off limbs. The story is light, but the gameplay? It's like an 80s action movie on bath salts. With over 100 guns, dual-wield madness, customizable ammo, enemy dismemberment, and 2 distinct playstyles, arcade and tactical. Hard Bullet lets you go full Hollywood or full hardcore simulator, but the true MVP is sandbox mode. Want to fight mini dwarves with giant pencils? Or build your own gun-spewing monster using meat grinders and duct tape? You absolutely can. It's a VR playground of glorious violence and physics gone wild. BattleGroupVR. Strap in, Commander, and it doesn't want you peeking at a map from orbit. It wants you in the battle, standing on the bridge, barking orders, dodging lasers, and getting that authentic sci-fi captain experience you've always wanted. Think Homeworld meets Star Trek, but in VR, and you're not sipping tea on the sidelines. Instead of playing celestial chess, you'll be smack dab in the middle of dogfights, directing your fleet from the helm of your own warship. Every ship in your battle group, corvettes, missile destroyers, E-War science vessels, carriers, and chunky battleships, can be micromanaged and loaded with your preferred death-dealing arsenal. Cannons, missiles, point defense lasers, all yours. It's your galaxy-shaping buffet. Your captains have personalities and passive abilities, and losing a favorite ship, and the salty space dog who commands it, stings worse than a direct plasma hit. With intuitive VR controls designed specifically for commanding in 3D space, BattleGroupVR makes you feel like a true galactic warlord. Superhot VR. This next one is a VR fever dream where time only moves when you do. Released in 2016, this red-tinted ballet of bullets from the mind-bending devs at Superhot team takes the original puzzle shooter concept and straps it into a VR headset for a complete rework of reality and your reflexes. You're dropped into an abstract white world full of angry red dudes who would love nothing more than to turn you into broken glass confetti. There's no health bar, no ammo crates, and definitely no mercy. Every bullet is a physics problem, and every enemy is a puzzle waiting to be punched, shot, or ninja-starred out of existence. You'll snatch guns mid-air, dodge bullets like a caffeine-deprived Neo, and use literal bottles as lethal tools of improvisational justice. With hand-tracked controls, hours of replayable missions from the Superhot Forever update, and challenge modes like headshots only or no shooting allowed, this game transforms you from a helpless human into a VR demigod, one slow-mo step at a time. By the end, you won't just beat the system, you'll become it. Stray. Oh, this is one of my personal favorites. Stray is a full-on feline odyssey through a robot-run dystopia. This indie gem from Blue 12 Studio and Annapurna Interactive drops you into the role of an adorable stray cat. No dialogue, just claws, curiosity, and pure cat agility. After an accidental swan dive into Walled City 99, a sealed-off underground haven now ruled by quirky robots and haunted by bacteria blobs called Zerks, your goal is simple: find a way back to the surface. Helping you along is B12, a drone companion with a mysterious past, hacking skills, and the occasional sarcastic beep. Together, you'll solve puzzles, dodge deadly sentinels, unleash the defluxer, and meow at everything that moves. Because yes, that's a button. What sets Stray apart isn't just its breathtaking environments inspired by Kowloon Walled City, but how it marries exploration and emotional storytelling with cat-like physics and playful interactions. You can nap on cushions, push paint cans off ledges, and rub up against robo-legs, all while unraveling a surprisingly deep sci-fi narrative about loss, legacy, and a tiny hero clawing toward the light. Jet Island. This game is what happens when Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Sonic the Hedgehog all high-five inside your VR headset. Released in 2018 by solo dev Master Indie, this game is a wild physics playground built from the ground up for VR thrill-seekers who think walking is for quitters. You'll drop into a massive open world, like truly massive, the kind that makes you go, wait, I can actually go over there? You're strapped to a hoverboard that skims across terrain like butter on a skillet, with wrist-mounted jet thrusters for pure rocket-powered chaos. Oh, and did we mention dual grappling hooks? Yeah, you'll be swinging across canyons, scaling sky-high towers, and dive-bombing giant bosses like you're in a mech-powered Cirque du Soleil. Solo or with friends in online co-op, you'll take down towering enemies, hunt rogue drones to boost your stats, and basically invent your own version of extreme VR parkour. There's no story to hold your paw. You make your own fun at 200 mph. This game is about precision, momentum, madness, and becoming one with the sky. Just don't forget to bend your knees when you land. BONELAB. The VR sequel from Stress Level Zero that dropped in September 2022 and promptly broke the minds of headset owners everywhere. You're a condemned outcast, hanged in some weird medieval town, who cuts the noose, drops into a metaphysical sci-fi blender called MythOS, and then things just get weird. Built on full-body inverse kinematics, you'll switch avatars using an elbow-worn body log to go from buff tank to featherweight go-kart champ, all while punching null bodies, blasting omni-projectors, and dodging crablets with the speed of a caffeinated crab. From gunfights and parkour to boss brawls, sewer showdowns, and even a freaking roller coaster ride, this campaign turns VR chaos into an art form. The BONELAB Hub opens up a multiverse of madness: mods, sandbox physics experiments, arena waves, and 6 specialized avatar missions to unlock your full potential. You'll smash crates, push massive orbs, solve puzzles, and end your journey in Void G114 riding shotgun with JW through the credits like a true Mythos veteran. BONELAB is VR's strangest theme park, and somehow it still makes perfect sense. So that's 10 mind-expanding indie VR games that absolutely deserve a spot in your library. Get busy slicing beats, body swapping in mythic cities, or blasting your way through gory sandboxes. These devs showed us that creativity thrives in VR's indie scene. So next time someone says indie like it's a bad thing, just hand them a headset and say, trust me. Got a hidden VR gem we missed? Drop it in the comments and school us. Don't forget to like, sub, and ring that bell for more VR deep dives. This is just the beginning. Catch you in the next dimension.